education. I would like to welcome all of you on this auspicious occasion to felicitate and acknowledge the meritorious work of great teachers. We all know about the popular saying, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires, and one such inspirational teacher is the mentor of teachers, Dr. A.K. Sengupta, founder and convener of the Higher Education Forum, Vice Chairman, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Navi Mumbai Kendra, mentor for My Retired Life, a social venture dedicated to senior citizens. He's also a former director, SPJIMR, and former director, CSCOMS, Navi Mumbai. Sir, I invite you to make the opening remarks and welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Lakshmi, for those good words. On behalf of a Higher Education Forum, we extend all of you a very, very hearty welcome. At the outset, hearty congratulations to the awardees. It's a great effort and keep up a good job. That's what we can say. My compliments to all the dignitaries who have assembled here. Professor Bhimrao Mestri, my senior colleague Dr. Kunda, Dr. Shihatti, Professor Hema Santanam, Harish Iyer, and all of the dignitaries who are assembled over here. And not to forget the contribution made by Professor Lakshmi Mohan to make this function a great success. We also take this opportunity to thank all our supporters, all our sponsors, all the relatives of there are quite a few relatives. The Higher Education Forum, those of you who do not know, let me say that it came about 10 years, about 11 years before. And we have been involved in a large number of capacity building activities for the teachers and the students. It has been a good journey. It has been a fantastic journey. All thanks to the supporters of all the members. And we have been, as a part of our activity, one of the most important activities, let me put it that way, have been to felicitate some of the good and great teachers from the different strata of the Higher Education Forum on the occasion of the Teachers' Day. Now, we can't do exactly on the Teachers' Day, and therefore we like to synchronize it somewhere in the month of September. Last year, we skipped it because of the very serious COVID. We could not do it. So that was the only year we skipped it. And this year, we are once again back today on 26th of September. This is, as we talked about, this is going to be the 11th Teachers' Day event. And we are felicitating 18 great teachers, 18 colleagues of ours who have excelled in the different areas of the higher education. Now, this award is, whenever we talk about the teaching community, we talk about the scholarship, the teaching, and the scholarship, the research. That makes a great teacher. Now, when we talk about the teaching, we are talking about the classroom teaching, we are talking about the corporate teaching. And whenever we are talking about the research, we are talking about the consulting also. So sigma of the scholarship of the teaching and the scholarship of the research, that makes a great teacher. And we thought that it is appropriate that we recognize them, and this recognition might lead to motivation to work, perform better, and possibly that will result into better reward for them. So recognition followed by the reward. That was the objective with which we started this particular program. Now, this award function is slightly different from all of the Teachers' Day events programs, because here, number one, it is the only award function where we are not only giving to one particular sectoral teacher, but it is distributed to the different areas and the different stream of the teachers. We put them together and try to give them award. Some years we skip some of the streams because we have another alternative, because we cannot choose all the streams every year. So that's one important differentiating point. The second differentiating point is that the Higher Education Forum is purely a peer group. It's a purely group of academics. It is a purely group of the teachers and the academicians, and therefore this is the only award which is a peer recognition to the peer. So it is not an institutional recognition, it is not a corporate recognition, but it is a peer recognition, and therefore it has got different type of a value and branding altogether. That's the second important differentiating point. Third important differentiating point is that this is one award which is totally a non-commercial in nature. Rather, it is a part of our corporate social responsibility, because if you look at it, we spend a substantial amount of money in organizing this particular teachers event, in terms of the logistics, in terms of the cost of the momentous, and so on and so forth. And we don't charge anybody. We thank to the supporters and the sponsors. They support us in some form or the other, some of the awards, but as otherwise, these are completely borne. The cost goes to the higher education forum, and therefore it becomes a part of the corporate social responsibility of the higher education forum. And there is absolutely no commercial turn whatsoever. I mean to say, that's another differentiating point of this particular award, and therefore it is one of the most respected, one of the most coveted awards of higher education fraternity. I once again take this opportunity to thank everybody over here, all the supporters, all the sponsors, all the members, all the awardees, all the relatives, all their colleagues, and all the family members of some of our departed supporters and departed great members. Actually, there are people who have joined us from the USA also. We'll talk about them more as we go along. So we wish the function a great success. We wish the function a great success, and once again, congratulations to all the awardees. Now, I request Professor Lakshmi to please take it forward for the first part of the award.
Thank you, Sen Gupta sir. And once again, congratulations to all the awardees, and also congratulations to the proud families of these awardees. Let me begin with the first awardee, Dr. Irakumar, who is Head Placements and Assistant Professor, CSCOMS, Navi Mumbai. We are awarding her for outstanding contribution to corporate relations, and this award is supported by Higher Education Forum. A big round of applause for Dr. Irakumar, and I request Irakumar to speak a few words in about 2 minutes of time.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am, and thank you, Dr. Sen Gupta. It is a moment of extreme joy for me, and thank you, HEF. Sen Gupta sir chose me for this award. That the day when he called me up for this award, the award was bestowed on me. So this is just a formality to me. I have been very fortunate to have a mentor like Dr. Sen Gupta, and now also Dr. Vigyan Verma and other bosses, who have always given me the autonomy to take decisions, and that is why I stand here. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you everybody for showing that confidence in me and bestowing this award to me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ira. Our second awardee is Dr. Mita Pathade, In Charge Principal, Pattukgala College of Commerce and Management, Mumbai. She's being awarded for outstanding contribution to academic administration. And this HEF award is supported by Dr. Manju Nichani, Rector, Sadhu Vaswani Institute of Learning, and she's also a senior member of Higher Education Forum. A big round of applause for Dr. Mita, and I request Dr. Mita to speak a few words. Please unmute yourself, ma'am. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan. It is indeed a great pleasure to be felicitated with the award for outstanding contribution to academic administration. At the outset, I thank Dr. Sen Gupta, the entire team of HEF, jury members, and Dr. Manju Nichanani for recognizing and supporting my work. Actually, I'm really thrilled today to be awarded. My journey to academic administration began when I was promoted as a vice principal, and just in a few months as a principal of the college. With the position not only comes power, but also responsibility and accountability. I thank my chairman, Mr. Adil Patak, for having the trust and faith in me to give the charge of degree college when I was just in my early 30s. In fact, today my responsibilities have increased by length, breadth, depth, since I've been recently promoted as a Chief Administrative Officer of all the sections at Patak Polytechnic Trust. I have to say that I have a superb management who believes in recognizing and rewarding the efforts and commitment of staff members. As Dr. Sen Gupta just mentioned, that is exactly what even HEF does. We at Patak have a fabulous connect with all our stakeholders. We believe in stakeholder delight. I have to say that this award has been possible because of my extremely supportive and cooperative team at Patak. A leader can be effective only when he or she has an able team. Thank you, team at Patak. This award has been possible because of my mentors who've given me fantastic guidance, Professor Michael Vaz and my chairman, Mr. Adil Patak. A vision provided by them. My gratitude to my two pillars of strength. I'm a part of this meet today because of my parents and my family members who has always been with me during my challenges and celebrations. An absolute example of unconditional love and support. I thank them to infinity. I have to mention that I have been blessed with a lot of well-wishers in my journey. They have knowingly or unknowingly been contributing, for which I'm present here today. I wholeheartedly thank them. I finally would like to humbly accept this award with the blessings of Almighty. I would like to tell Sen Gupta sir that having this award received from HEF, it means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mita, for a very beautiful and humbling address.
Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Dr. Neelam Arora, Principal, Lala Lajpat Rai College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, who is receiving the award for academic leadership at graduate level. This is the Srimati B.G. Srihatti Memorial Award that is going to be presented to her with the support of Dr. M.G. Srihatti, senior member of HEF, in the memory of his mother. Dr. Neelam, I request you and invite you to speak a few lines about, address or your acceptance speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. A.K. Singh Gupta, for this wonderful program and for selecting me. My greatest thanks to my mentor, Dr. M.G. Srihatti sir, under whose guidance in the last 30 years when I worked with him from 1984 to 2006, everything I have learned, I can say I've learned from Dr. Srihatti. And it is his recommendation and his blessing that I am currently the principal of Lala Lajpat Rai College. So I owe my entire gratitude, lot of respect, and a lot of affection for our ex-principal, Dr. M.G. Srihatti. I'd like to thank all my professors, teaching and non-teaching staff of Lala Lajpat Rai College for giving me entire support in these 11 years that I am the principal of the college. I'd like to thank Dr. Kamalji Gupta and Dr. Sunilji Gupta, our trustee and chairman, for giving me a free hand and giving me full support in running the organization. Last but not the least, my family, my husband, my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my nephew, all have been very happy and always supported me and happy for me. So I was able to discharge all my duties because my husband always supported me. My son was not only my son, but my student and colleague. He also always supported me. So I would like to thank them also because I have been able to reach this post only because of support from my friends and family. Without them, I would not have been able to be where I am. So thank you very much. I accept this award in great humility. And I promise that I will do my best in academic leadership and bringing my college to further heights. I've been granted an extension of 3 years from 62 to 65 just recently in March. So I get 3 years more to serve my college and I would like to take it to greater heights and build a foundation where Srihatti sir has left. And I would like to add to whatever he has made the strong foundation of the college. Thank you, Srihatti sir, once again, and great honor. I thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Once again, congrats, Dr. Neelam, and thanks for this beautiful, thankful address of yours. Now I call upon my very dear friend, Professor Shanti Rajan, Director, Institution Development of University of Stirling, RAK Campus, UAE. And congratulations for achieving the HEF Leadership Academic Leadership Award. This award is supported by Dr. Madhvi Dhole, member of faculty, SIS College of Management Studies, and also member of the Higher Education Forum. So over to you, Shanti, for your beautiful, thankful words. I know 2 minutes is too short a time to talk about your achievements, but yes, we are waiting to hear from you. Over to you.
Thank you so very much indeed, Dr. Lakshmi. That was truly humbling. Thank you very much. Dr. Sen and all members of the higher education family and participants of this event, a very good morning. At the outset, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sen, Dr. Madhavi Dole, jury members, and the HEF family. My heartfelt thanks and gratitude to my dear husband, Suresh Menon, for being a true pillar of support, and my family indeed for their constant support and their guidance always. Truly humbled and grateful. Now, my journey as an educator started about 16 years back, and I must admit that something was really pulling me to be an educator and to leave a robust corporate career that I was enjoying then. And 16 years later, I'm proud to say that I hear my inner voice, but today I find my life fuller, happier, and emotionally satisfying. My students, they give meaning to my job and purpose of my life, and nothing is more gratifying than this. My role as a senior member of faculty since 2009, teaching at various academic institutions of repute, locally and internationally, has naturally evolved over the last 5 years, from delivering lectures to now taking part in making strategic decisions institution-wide, representing a wider society and stakeholders, mentoring academic teaching staff, to name a few. And it's been an incredible journey from a teaching faculty to my current role as a leader of 2 academic institutions. One is the University of Stirling as a Director Institution Development for University of Stirling and the Scottish Qualification Authority, and recently being promoted as a Director of SQA, Scottish Qualification Authority. So, and it's truly humbling to be given this leadership position. And the achievements of my academic leadership has, in fact, last year resulted in me being conferred as a Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK by the Stirling Framework for Evidencing Learning and Teaching Enhancement Judging Panel of Stirling UK, and also the Advanced Higher Education Academy UK. I'm deeply humbled, and indeed it's a great honor receiving this award in the category of academic leadership from the Higher Education Forum India. And from the time I was being a part of HEF, I've attended most of the events, and each one of those have enriched me with motivation, ideas, and thought processes that I gathered from listening to various experienced educators of great standing. So listening to them has been a delight always, and I shall cherish this award as an inspiration from HEF to do more and to learn more. In closing, I thank Dr. Sen, Dr. Madhavi Dole for supporting this award, and Dr. Sen, as always, for his guidance and inspiration. And may I also take this opportunity to congratulate my peers who have won an award on various categories. And as this HEF event is on behalf of Teachers Day, I wish all the members and participants of this event a happy Teachers Day. Thank you once again. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Professor Shanti. As always, it's beautiful, and we really cherish to hear, and we are delighted to hear your very short but very beautifully worded speech. Now I call upon my colleague at ITM, Professor Priti Narendra, the wellness coach at ITM, the area coordinator, human resource management, and also assistant professor, ITM Business School, Navi Mumbai. She receives this HEF Special Award for contribution to the wellness concept, and this award is supported by Higher Education Forum. Over to you, Professor Priti, for your acceptance speech.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, HEF. I'm happy and honored to receive this award. Thank you to ITM Business School, our director, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, my HOD, Dr. Snigdha Mishra, and to the senior management for giving me this opportunity to spearhead Wellness Center, and for the encouragement and support in organizing various events under the umbrella of Wellness Center. I dedicate this award to all my lovely colleagues, my student coordinators and Heartfulness team, with whom we have a very long association. We have already sown the seed, and we're hoping that it will take root in every corner of ITM, making wellness a part of our culture. This award will be a constant reminder that I have a long way to go, Thank you. My humble gratitude, HEF and Dr. Sen Gupta. Lastly, my family is here today. Love you all. You are my lifeline. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Priti. It summed up in a short manner, but very beautiful and enduring address. Over to now the next awardee, that is Dr. Ashavari Bave Gudupidi. She is the Principal Teacher Training Academy School of Education and Research, MIT, Art, Design and Technology University, Pune. She'll be receiving the Dr. Kamal Kishore Memorial Award for Best Teacher in Education Management. And this award is supported by Dr. Sandeep Banot, faculty at CSCOMS. He is also an HEF core committee member, and this award is instituted in the memory of his father. Over to you, ma'am, for your acceptance speech.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan. A very good morning to all the dignitaries present over here, and hearty congratulations to all the award winners. At the outset, I would really like to thank Higher Education Forum, especially Dr. A.K. Sengupta sir, founder, convener, and my mentor, Dr. Sunita Varikar, and all the other jury members of Higher Education Forum for considering me for this award in the category of Education Management HEF. And I'm extremely honored to be receiving such an important award in the name of Dr. Kamal Kishore Memorial Award. My journey in the field of education started as a physics lecturer at Jai Hind College, Mumbai in 1994, under the mentorship of then Principal Dr. Sir Shivdasani sir. And today working as a Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences in a state private university, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune. It's a long journey. And on my way up here, I have really faced a lot of challenges, but each one of them have really made me a stronger person and a thorough professional that I am today. And on this forum, I would really like to mention that my winning this award and other achievements in the field of education, like the Staff Exchange Award that I received from UK India Educational Research Initiative, to collaborate and visit University of Stirling, UK, and the other achievements would not have been possible without the support and inspiration that I have received from my family members as well as my mentors. And I, in all my humbleness, I would like to express my gratitude towards them. I would like to specially thank the women power from whom I have derived strength to challenge myself and perform better at each and every stage. First and foremost, my lovely daughter, Tanvi Gudipudi, my mother, Shama Bhave, my mother-in-law, Vijaya Lakshmi Gudipudi, my first mentor, Dr. Sunita Varikar, my PhD guide, Dr. Shefali Pandya, my second mentor, who was also my employer, Mrs. Swati Chate, who really believed in me and encouraged me to take up challenges. I would also like to thank Dr. Mangesh Karar sir, who is the Executive President and Vice Chancellor of MIT Art, Design and Technology University, who has really shown trust in me and encourages us to soar high up in the sky. A real heartfelt gratitude towards each one of them for helping me to reach this stage where I can proudly hold up this award as a mark of my achievement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ashavari. I'm sure all your friends, your colleagues, and also family will be proud of your achievements. Our next awardee is Dr. Priti Shirotta, who is an associate professor at Kohinoor Business School, Mumbai. She'll be receiving this HEF award for Best Teacher in Business Communication. And this award is supported by Higher Education Forum. Welcome, Dr. Priti, and congratulations. Over to you. The floor is yours for a 2-minute address.
Thank you. So good morning, everybody. Let me begin by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to the Higher Education Forum for selecting me as a recipient of this prestigious award. and Dr. Kondak, our Director General, for nominating me for it, as well as CHD Sunil Karve, our Honorary Chairman, for his visionary approach that helps us excel. My sincere gratitude also to all those who have pushed me towards excellence and stood by me through thick and thin. I have 30 years of experience in undergraduate and postgraduate teaching and training in the areas of literature, communication, soft skills, and gender. And the training is something I conduct for both the industry and academia. My greatest achievement has been my contribution to research through 48 papers that I have read at various forums, the 31 papers I've published, and my 7 books, of which 2 have been co-authored. One of this book has been used as training material by a reputed company. My greatest inspiration, of course, are my parents and my teachers who have always believed in me, and my students who, with their thirst for knowledge, constant questioning, and egging me on through thick and thin, have kept me innovating and driving me towards success. I also thank my family for their constant support and encouragement at all stages of my life. I hope to continue striving towards excellence in the coming decade. Many thanks once again to Dr. Sengupta and the HEF team, as well as Lakshmi Mohan, for this honor, as well as for such an excellent program. Thank you very much. I humbly accept this great honor.
Thank you, Dr. Priti, for such a lovely manner you summed up your enormous contribution towards education. Once again, congratulations to you. Our next awardee is Dr. Ritika Patak, Head Departments, Undergraduate Management and Commerce courses, and Assistant Professor at KC College, Mumbai. She'll be receiving the Srimati Rangutai Konda Memorial Award for Best Young Teacher. This award is supported by Dr. N.M. Konda, former Vice Chancellor of NMIMS, deemed to be university, and also a very big supporter and core committee member of Higher Education Forum. This award is instituted in the memory of his mother. Over to you, Dr. Ritika, for your address.
Thank you so much. Very good morning to everyone. I am truly and deeply honored to have been received this award. My sincere gratitude to HEF and Dr. A.K. Sengupta for recognizing my work and presenting me this award. Before I got into the field of teaching, I was an investment banker, and it was truly the passion towards teaching that brought me into this field. And this award not only reaffirms my decision to come into the field of teaching, but also motivates me to achieve greater heights in this field. And this award, to be able to receive it with such established dignitaries and such personalities at the same platform at such a young age, it's truly and deeply an honor for me. So thank you so much for that. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Manju Nichani, who's been my idol and mentor and been my guiding light throughout my journey of this field of education. Last but not the least, I would like to thank KC College, the institution where my journey of teaching has started, and I wish to contribute a lot more and add to this journey, and also my family and friends for being there throughout my journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika, and congratulations to you. You're really fortunate to have reached these heights at a very young age. So keep doing
thank you
the
so
good
much.
work. Now over to
Thank
our
you so much.
next awardee, Dr. Veena Roy Chaudhury, Principal and Head, Department of English, SIES College of Commerce and Economics. She will be receiving the HEF Award for Outstanding Contribution to Academic Administration, and this award is supported by Higher Education Forum. Over to you, Dr. Veena.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I thank Higher Education Forum for this honor. I accept this award in all humility. I take this opportunity to thank the SIS management who entrusted me with the responsibility of principalship. I thank my students, teaching and non-teaching staff of the SIS College of Commerce and Economics who have been my support and mainstay in my journey of 32 years in the college. 6 years as vice principal and the last 4 as principal. I thank my family for their unstinted support throughout. I proudly inform you that my college was granted autonomous status by UGC in July 2020. An administrator has to face many challenges, but when we accept the responsibility in the spirit of service and follow the path of bhakti, jnana, and karma, we play a transformational role as an enabler, facilitator, and a team builder, one who creates and sustains systems and processes so that vision becomes a reality. I take this opportunity to thank you once again and congratulate all other fellow winners. Thank you, sir. Thank you. One and all.
Congratulations, Dr. Veena Roy Chaudhury. Thank you so much for this beautiful address of yours. Now over to our next awardee, Professor Seema Mahajan, Director, Praveen Dalal School of Entrepreneurship and Family Business Management, NMIMS deemed to be University, Mumbai. This award is being presented to her for entrepreneurship education. This award is being supported by the Higher Education Forum. Over to you, Professor Seema.
Thank you so much. Present dignitaries, my senior professors, mentors, and fellow colleagues, good morning from London. I feel truly grateful to jury, Dr. Sen Gupta, and entire HEF team for considering my work and honoring me for this prestigious award. And rest assured, I will continue to work hard and ensure that this award remains well-deserved in years to come too. I would like to express my gratitude to my Honorable Chancellor, Shri Amrish Bhai, who was open to accept and adapt innovation and change in new programs, pedagogy, design, and delivery. His support and complete faith in me motivated me always, and I took my each step with courage and confidence. I wish to thank my senior leaders for creating a culture at NMIMS of encouraging and trusting young minds and believing in what they want to do. I would like to specifically mention late Dr. Bhushan, Dr. Saxena, Dr. Kondap, Dr. Sanyal, and now Dr. Bhatt. Sir, we are truly blessed to have mentors and visionaries like you in our professional lives. My heartfelt thanks to my stakeholders who helped me in achieving my dream of I will win, may not be immediately, but absolutely and definitely. Lastly, my family and my Praveen Dalal School of Entrepreneurship and Family Business family, whose contribution and support is beyond words and expressions. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Seema. You could join from London thanks to this virtual form of, celebrating meritorious awardees.
Yes.
We also had Professor Shanti.
That's the benefit also that pandemic taught us,
Yes, true.
Thank you so
we have more awardees for the day who will be, felicitated. And I request Dr. Sen Gupta to do the further, call out the further awardees. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Lakshmi Mohan, for that wonderful anchoring. And congratulations to all the awardees till now. I think we had a wonderful session till now. Now, we call upon the name of the next awardee, Dr. Rakesh Somani. He is a professor and the principal of the DY Party University of School of Pharmacy, Mumbai. And he is being awarded Sri KV Subramaniam Memorial Award for contribution to pharmaceutical education. He has been a very, very a formidable name in the area of the pharmacy and the pharmaceutical education in the country. And this award is supported by Mr. Mohan Subramaniam in the memory of his father, who was an engineer from the BATU. I may add here that Mr. Mohan Subramaniam is the husband of my dear colleague, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan. So over to Dr. Rakesh Somani.
Yeah, namaskar and good morning, everyone present on this platform. I'm really humbled and really thankful to the Mr. Mohan and the family for giving this award along with the HEF team. Thank you, Dr. A.K. Sengupta. Also, Dr. Gopal sir, the director of D.Y. Patil University's School of Management, Belapur, for keeping faith in me. I'm really thankful to the entire team of HEF for this award. I must make a mention that yesterday only on 25th of September, the entire world celebrated the World Pharmacist Day, 11th World Pharmacist Day. And on this occasion, maybe the one day later, I'm receiving this award that is for contribution to pharmaceutical education. I'm really humble and thankful to the entire team. As you all know that the pharmaceutical industry is, and not only the pharmaceutical industry, but also the pharmaceutical education is happening across the globe in a very different way. And also the innovations and are happening. Probably the vaccine what we saw, or the vaccine revolution what we saw, I should say, that it has been really one of the remarkable contribution of the pharmaceutical industry for the humanity. And I am really humbled to be a part of this industry. Thankful to HEF for acknowledging the pharmaceutical industry and pharmaceutical education. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Rakesh Somani. You have been a wonderful colleague. Thank you very much. The next award, we have a protocol, and the protocol is the people who are working hard for the cause of the Higher Education Forum, our volunteers, our core committee members. We normally felicitate them. 1 or 2 awards per year we earmark for them during this particular event. So this year, this award is going to 2 of colleagues of ours. The first award goes to Dr. R.K. Rao. Dr. R.K. Rao is a very seasoned ex-corporate professional and as well as an educational, eminent education. Dr. R.K. Rao, the floor is open to you.
Yeah.
For saying it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. At the outset, I sincerely thank HEF for this recognition and Dr. Sengupta ji for inducting me into full-time academic from last 2 years after my 34 years of corporate HR assignment. Earlier, I had closely worked with eminent CEOs of mega Indian brands. My job then involved dealing initially with multiple units of 90s to employee engagement and creating later on better employee experience in organization, linking it up with higher productivity and superior shareholder return, for which I had received a few HR leadership awards earlier. My inspiration to join academics was created first way back in 1980s when Professor Saru Rangnikar was in visiting faculty to our TISS campus. He could very well those days relate most of the prevailing management theories with his classy humor, aligning with management practices in India. I had then decided someday I too could join academics post my corporate career. I would say my switch over from corporate to academics was very smooth, somewhat smooth, as I was mostly managing the learning and development function, plus my new colleagues and the students in various B schools in Mumbai were very much welcoming and supported my interaction with them, perhaps expecting little more from me than a pure academicians. I once again take this opportunity to thank all my corporate bosses, my eminent academic gurus like Professor Yogendra Singh of JNU, late Dr. M.S. Gori of TSS, and our own Dr. A.K. Sengupta ji for providing direction, constant guidance to individual academic institutions and industry bodies across the country. Thank you. I feel very humbled and honored to do this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. The next HEF core committee award goes to Professor Vikram Hande, very young faculty member in the area of the business analytics, and he is a core committee member of Higher Education Forum and does a lot of groundwork activity. Yeah, Vikram, the floor is open to you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank HEF and special thanks to Dr. A.K. Sengupta and jury members for giving this award. I'm very glad to be here with all dignitaries from the Management Education Institutes, and my major achievements thanks to the universities, my institutes, to get awards for my research papers, as well as the students whom I mentored for their startups. And special thanks to the jury members for selecting me for this award. And finally, HEF, they are continuously running the programs, conducting the programs to update the skills. Special thanks to Dr. A.K. Sengupta. Continuously, he is selecting the topics for reskilling the faculties also. Thanks again to HEF, and special thanks to Dr. Lakshmi Mohan also for support, continuous support in the HEF and final higher education forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. So ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the very special categories of the awards. These are very special awards for HEF in more than one sense, and these are very close to my personal heart also. Now, first of the special award is what we call as the Dr. Suresh Ghai Memorial Award. I'm sure some of you will be knowing Professor, remembering Professor Suresh Ghai. Professor Suresh Ghai was the director of a very eminent business school, KJ Somaiya Institute of Management in the city of Bombay. But more important than that, the Professor Suresh Ghai used to be the founder trustee, my colleague trustee in the Higher Education Forum. He expired about 9 years before, very unfortunately, very premature death he had. And in his memory, we have instituted an award which is called Dr. Suresh Ghai Memorial Award for Outstanding Business School Director. And this is the 8th award. And this award this time goes to a very eminent, a very personal friend of mine, a colleague of mine, a very eminent personality in the field of education, Professor Dr. R.K. Jain. Ravi Jain is the founding director of the prestigious SIBM Hyderabad. SIBM Hyderabad is a part of the Symbiosis International University, and it is the one of the very growing business schools, one of the most developing business schools, and a plush land of about 40 to 50 acres outskirts of the city of Hyderabad. He was the former director of the Symbiosis Center for the research and innovation at the SIU. He's also a startup evangelist. He's a very known researcher. He's a known writer. So this particular award goes to Professor R.K. Jain. Incidentally, Professor Vidya Awardees, the Pro Chancellor Symbiosis, she's also here. She has just now logged in. I saw her. So she is also will be giving this particular award online. I'm talking about. So the floor is open now to Professor R.K. Jain to say a few words. R.K. Jain.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sen Gupta. Such a humbling experience for two reasons. One is, of all recognitions, rewards and awards one can receive, recognition from peer group and fraternity is the best and most gratifying. And second reason is receiving this award in the presence of my inspiration, our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Vidya Ravdekar, and a lot of eminent academicians who are here, whom we have been looking up to when we were growing up as in my academic career. I thank the jury members of HEF for selecting me for this prestigious award. Special thanks to a dear friend, senior colleague, Professor Sen Gupta. With all humility at my disposal, I accept this award with a resolve that I shall continue to put in my best efforts in contributing in whatever best that I can in furthering the cause of promoting higher education, high quality higher education. This award is a reflection of contribution of several people in my career. But in fact, this journey, I recall I completed 21 years in academics. The journey has been unbelievable, coming from a conservative Bania family of jewelers and financiers. And when I decided to take a switch from family business into academics,
give the order to the body to take an action.
My decision was not welcome. But then I had support from a lot of people who made this happen. And today, as I stand in front of you, I must recognize and acknowledge the contribution of all these three people. First is my dad. When I went to him and said, I want to switch to academics, go for higher education and pursue my career in my newfound love called academics. Being youngest son in the family, he was the only one who said, "Ja beta, ji le apni zindagi." And that was the cliched, statement. I still remember when he said that, he go do whatever you want to do, ensure that you put your heart and soul into what you are doing. The second important person in my life, especially in my academic career, is Mr. N.J. Asheshvi, the founder of ICFI, and he will remain ever as my mentor because I have grown up in ranks under his leadership at ICFI, from a junior faculty member to head of a department which championed research and publication. And the third and most important is my inspiration, my guru, or I would say what I aspire to be in future is Dr. S.B. Mujumdar. He's the one who has encouraged me way back in 2009 at a very young age when I met him for the first time. He said, here is a man who can do a good job. And I said, sir, I come from a very ordinary background. And he has encouraged me by saying, ordinary people do extraordinary work many a times. And you are the one. Go ahead and believe in yourself and do it. I thank him for believing in me and giving me my first opportunity as independent charge for heading Symbiosis Center for Research and Innovation. And I thank my team at SIBM Hyderabad, my family, and especially my wife, who has been with me during this tough time, especially when we took the career switch and we had to go through a great amount of culture shock. So I thank all of them for what I am today, and I promise that I shall continue to put in my best efforts. Thank you so much once again to HEF and the jury members, and my congratulations to all the fellow awardees today. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Ravi, you are the best at times, and today has been a good day where you recalled, Ravi, this gave an opportunity to recall all the contributions made in your life to make you become what you are today. The next award goes in the memory of a person who is very well known in the field of management education, and he was one of my gurus also once in, because we worked very, very closely, and he was my guru, and that is Professor Y.K. Bhushan. Y.K. Bhushan was a legend as an educationist, as an education administrator, and he did a phenomenally good job as the Vice Chancellor of the Narsimhanji Institute of Management Study deemed university. And he died at a very matured life, a very, very fruitful, long and happy life last year. And in his memory, we have started Professor Y.K. Bhushan Memorial Award toward outstanding contribution to management education. This is a one effort we thought that we will try to do as Higher Education Forum to carry forward his legacy, because we have worked so closely together. We cannot go. We cannot go away. We cannot go away the memory of Professor Y.K. Bhushan. And the first awardee for this prestigious award of Y.K. Bhushan award goes to a very close colleague of mine, a very known name in the management education once again, and that Professor Dr. Atish Chattopadhyay. Dr. Atish Chattopadhyay is the director of the Jagdish Sheth School of Management, that is the JAGSOM. It is previously known as the former IFMI Business School, Bangalore. It is one of the most promising, one of the most developing institutes in the country, and recently renamed as the Jagdish Sheth Institute of Management Study. Not only that, he's the former director at the director at MICA. He has been the dean of MICA. He has been the director of the IITM Ghaziabad. He has also been the deputy director of SP Jain Institute of Management and Research, and is a very known name in the field of the management education. So Atish, congratulations once again, and the floor is open to you. And today, to see this event, to witness this particular event, we also have Anoba Kini. Anoba is the daughter of Y.K. Bhushan. She is also there. So our all respect to the departed soul of Y.K. Bhushan, and the floor is open to you, Atish.
Thank you, sir. I am truly humbled by this honor, particularly the award being named after Dr. Y.K. Bhushan, who was also my mentor, and I've interacted with him at IBS. I would like to convey my gratitude to all those who contributed in this journey. My parents, my family, and my friends. My father, who has been a teacher, is my role model. I am privileged to be part of a school which actually allowed me to do what I wanted to, Kendriya Vidyalaya Fort William, and I am glad that my teacher, Madam Ganguly, has joined today for this occasion. I am grateful to the institutions which has nurtured me, my alma maters, IHM Kolkata, Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management, and Aligarh Muslim University. Dr. Kalyan Sengupta, my professor at ISWBM, and my professors at AMU, Dr. Naved Muhammad Khan, is joining this event today. My journey in academics started because of an individual who actually got me from nowhere into academics, and that's Dr. V.P. Rao, Panduranga Rao, who is also here today. And my journey started in academics because of him. I was brought to SPJIMR by Dr. Rajan Saxena, who gave me that break in terms of inducting me at SPJIMR when I was the director. I was nurtured, mentored, guided, and pampered, I would say, by Dr. Manesh Shrikant, who is my guru. I have been supported by numerous people, Dr. Shesha Iyer, who was the director at SPJIMR, and today, Mr. Sanjay Padode, who is the president of Vijayabhumi University, and also the president of the society which sponsors Jagdish Shet School of Management. I am very fortunate that I have been mentored by some of the gurus in the international arena, like Professor Parasuraman, who is here today. Professor Jagdish Shet himself today mentors me, and also the likes of Professor Srikant Datar. I would look at my journey. When I look at my journey, I look at, in academics, one of the areas that always excited me, or an area which really I thought that there is an immense scope for contribution in India, is particularly in the social sector. India is very different because still there is prevalence of poverty and there is an inequality of income. Three of the initiatives I would like to mention. One, we started when I was the program chair at SPJIMR, which was Abhuday, where the students actually mentored the underprivileged slum children in Mumbai, was something which was very close to my heart. At IMT Ghaziabad, there was a very interesting initiative, Sustainability and Social Responsibility, where the students again worked with the underprivileged in the social sector. And at Jagdish Shet School of Management, we have a unique initiative where the students actually organize a mini marathon to raise funds for the benefit of the girl child. Each of these initiatives, Abhuday, Sustainability and Social Responsibility, and Kannathan, has received global recognition in terms of featuring in the Innovation That Inspire Award of AACSD. The second important aspect which is again close to my heart, is the pedagogy of teaching learning. We at Jagdish Shet School of Management did a survey of industry needs, which is relevant to today's industry, which is Industry 4.0. And we have developed a curriculum where students actually worked on real life problems, which are sponsored and supported by the industry. And we call this pedagogy as learning by solving. The third area where the Indian institutions also are today getting integrated, and that is the global, with the global management education. I am being part of the journey in terms of accreditation. At IMT Ghaziabad, the institution received AACSB accreditation, being the third institution in India. When the PRT happened, I was there. And also at Jagdish Shet School of Management, which is today AACSB ranked. I think that's something which is very important, and I'm glad that more and more institutions in India are getting international accreditations. The other important aspect, if the Indian institutions need to make a global mark, I think it is important to also be ranked globally. And I'm glad that many of the institutions are today getting ranked globally. And Jagdish Shet School of Management is the first institution from India to get ranked in 3 of the rankings, that is Masters in Marketing, Finance, and Analytics. The other important part, which I think was very important, was how do we provide international exposure to both students and faculty. At SPJIMR, we started one of the initiatives, which is Global Fast Track, where the entire student body actually spends time, almost 3 to 4 weeks, in internationally ranked institutions like Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, Darden, or the Macombs at Texas. So I think internationalization will be one of the key agenda going forward. And I'm glad two of the most eminent faculty, Professor Parasuraman and Professor Vitala Rao of Cornell, is today heading two of the centers of excellence at JAXOM, the Center for Service Excellence and the Center for Business Analytics. I think these are the three areas where I would see, there's a lot of opportunity to contribute. I am grateful to my mentors, my colleagues, and they are the ones who actually nurtured me. Professor Maitri is here, Professor Bal Palekar is here, I think Professor Chaturvedi ji, Professor Jahar Bakchi, all these people have been an important and integral part of my journey. I think I have been enabled by my mentors, and going forward, my role, the way I look at it, is to act as an enabler. I am truly humbled by this honor, and I'd like to thank the jury for this, and I'm grateful to the entire management fraternity for supporting me and nurturing me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Atish. Thank you, Atish. That was a great, you're not only enabling, but you're motivating talk. And I'm sure that you will become a great motivator for the future management educators. We talked yesterday, how do you become more as a mentor rather than only as a practitioner? The next award is a very, very special award in the sense that the Professor, why we talked about Professor Y.K. Bhushan. Now we are going to talk about Professor Sharu Rangnekar. Professor Sharu Rangnekar, I'm sure the people who are present here, the people are not present even here, all the fraternity, the education fraternity and the corporate fraternity, they cannot afford to forget the name of Professor Sharu Rangnekar. Because Professor Sharu Rangnekar used to be a corporate person. He became a CEO of a company, leading company at a very young age. He turned into a consultant, turned into a trainer, learning and development expert actually. And after that, there was no looking back. And Professor Sharu Rangnekar became, a role model and the gurus for many of us in terms of the teaching, learning and activities and so on and so forth. We were very close to each other. And there was not a single occasion in the city of Bombay where Professor Sharu Rangnekar did not used to come unless and until he was sick or he was not well. And it was a shocking news to us when we suddenly, when they came to know that the Professor Sharu Rangnekar is not there. And the minimum thing what we could do, I think that's the only thing we could do to carry forward his legacy, is to institute an award in his name. And we also took the consent of Swati. I think she has joined from the USA, his daughter, in this particular matter. And we looked into the contributions of Professor Sharu Rangnekar in the various areas. And finally, he was a multifaceted personality. Finally, we zeroed on in a particular area, and that is ethical leadership. I don't know how many of you know or not. Wherever I have interacted with Professor Sharu Rangnekar, I have interacted at least with him for, let's say, 40, 50 times. That's the minimum number of times physically. I'm talking about over telephone, maybe another 40, 50 times. Everywhere, the common denominator of our talk used to be the ethics. Common denominator used to be the ethical leadership and so on and so forth. And therefore, we thought that whenever we institute an award in the name of the Professor Sharu Rangnekar, it is going to be in the area, specifically area of ethical leadership. And therefore, this particular award is going to be, next award is the first Professor Sharu Rangnekar Memorial Award for the ethical leadership. And then we have started our search. It was a very difficult thing, to find out. And I don't say difficult thing, but it is a little bit of a thing to find out an ethical leader, true ethical leader I'm talking about, that who have been followed ethical principles all throughout his life, somewhere there, but there are no more in the world today. And finally, we boiled down to one particular person who is a very close friend of mine. I know him for last 10, 15 years. And not only that, he is also very close to Professor Sharu Rangnekar and is known in the field of education as an ethical leader. He is Professor Varun Arya, the founder and the director of the Aravali Institute of Management, Jodhpur. Professor Varun Arya once again has got a very interesting career track record. If you look at his career and track record, it's very interesting. He's a graduate from the IIT Delhi. He's a postgraduate from the IIM Ahmedabad. He had got a very exchequered corporate career for about 15, 16 years. And he decided to shift towards academics. And then, along with the support and patronage of the Maharaja of Jodhpur, he started the Aravali Institute of Management. But it has been a long journey, ethical fight. I think Professor Varun Arya will talk more about it. So the first award, the Professor Sharu Rangnekar in the area of the ethical leadership goes to Professor Varun Arya. Professor Varun Arya, we are thankful that we are able to hear, despite the internet cut by the Rajasthan government, so Varun Arya The floor is open to you.
Good morning to everybody. First of all, my grateful thanks to Dr. A.K. Sengupta and HEF team for choosing me for this first award in memory of Professor Charu Rangnekar, who has been truly a friend, philosopher, and guide for me for almost 4 decades. In fact, exactly 10 years back, in September 2011, HEF had honored me with award for outstanding contribution to the profession of teaching in the areas of values and ethics. And therefore, this is in a way a second award for me from HEF in the area of ethics. I had met Professor Charu Rangnekar for the first time in June 1982, when Professor Rangnekar was about 53 years, and he had just resigned as MD of Managing Director of Searle India Limited and began a new career as a management consultant. And I was attending my summer internship in Bombay from IIM Ahmedabad, and I was just about 22. Since then, we kept in touch and our relationship flourished. Of course, there have been umpteen meetings and interactions with Professor Rangnekar, especially when he stayed at our home in Jodhpur during his visit to Jodhpur for teaching at our institute. There are too many memories related with Professor Rangnekar, but I will, and he was a unique person in many ways. I will mention, since this award is in memory of him, just few of his unique characterizing aspects. First was commitment. I think Dr. Sengupta mentioned about it. I will mention one incident. It was on 25th of December 2001 when I took our students to Bombay for meeting the CEOs of the corporate. The visit was for a week. Professor Rangnekar told me when we were finalizing the program about 15 days in advance that on 25th December, he would come in the morning and give toffees and chocolates and cakes to our students as a true Santa Claus. And I told him that we would leave by 8:30. So he said I would come at 7:30. At 7:30, when I was at on the gate of the place where we were staying, Professor Rangnekar got down from black and white, black and yellow taxi. I found his clothes were in a bad shape, and his face was also, looking painful. So I asked him, "Sir, what happened? You are not looking your usual cheerful." He said that his wife suddenly became unwell, and she was in ICU. Now she's in coma. I said, "Sir, then you should not have come." He said, "No, I had promised, so I'm here." So despite his wife being in coma in a serious condition, he came at the time we had fixed and distributed chocolates, cakes, and toffees to our students. I mean, there are endless stories about him. He was a person of not management consultant. I think he was a person of management role model and management stories. The second thing unique about him was age is just a number. He passed away when he was 93 years of his age. On 2nd November 2018, at the insistence of his daughter Swati and son-in-law Vijay, he decided to celebrate his 90th birthday, but only selected about 100 people who were closest to him. Me and my wife Anita were privileged to be invited. We flew down and went to Bombay, and from airport we went straight to his house. It was around 6:30, and we went to the venue, which was a garden on the ground floor of his building. Professor Rangnekar was sitting there alone. We met him, and we had honor to spend time with him before the people started coming. The time given to us 7 o'clock. He received each guest personally. Time became 10:30, and during this function, he went and met to each guest and spent time with. Around 10:30, some people told him, "Uncle." I mean, whereas some of the people calling him uncle, they were looking like his uncle. Said that, "Sir, now it is 10:30. You go back to your flat." He rebuked them. He said, "No, I will sit here till the last person." And he saw each person, and he was the last person to leave. I think that speaks a lot about the approach of a person despite being 90 years. Third, I think I would like to talk about the vocation and the passion. While he became management consultant, but his passion was Shairi. He never left it. Very few people would know that while he wrote books on management and some of the bestsellers, he also wrote a book on Shairi. And whenever he came to our institute over the years, right from 2000, we always had his Shairi session along with the Pakoda party, and where he shared, and he also believed that, and firmly believed that whatever you do it well. He was a rare person who had accountability, transparency, and responsiveness. And the last, but not the least, he had absolutely a great amount of fortitude, despite having lost his two sons at a very young age, and his wife in January 2002. He was always active, meaningfully active, and always had a great sense of humor. And whenever he came to Jodhpur, me, my wife, and he, three of us used to go for eating out. He loved the good food, and we used to go out for movie, and we used to really enjoy, and he treated both of us as though we were his children. I can go on and on, but it is truly, I'm honored to be given this first award in his memory. And he's a person, all those who came in touch with him, they will never forget his uniqueness in more ways than one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Varun Arya. That was brief biodata sketch for Professor Sharunangnika to remind all of us. The next award goes to a very interesting category. You know, we have started it for the first time. The idea is that there are a lot of private initiative which is taking place, both PPP model and the private model in India for the educational setup I'm talking about. And a lot of private universities have come up in India, a lot of private institutions have come up in India, and they're doing very, very well. If you look at out of 1,000 universities, many of them are private universities, and some of them are doing extremely well. So we thought that we will try to recognize one such academic entrepreneur every year to recognize his or her outstanding contribution to the field of the academic entrepreneurship. Again, our search began, and you know, there are many people whom we got given, but finally we thought that we would go by the one of the most accomplished, one of the seasoned, one of the multifaceted, multi-branched, and you know, an institution of excellence. And that institution of excellence we ultimately found out was the Symbiosis International University. And Professor S.V. Majumdar, we didn't want to disturb him, and therefore we thought that we would give this particular award to his very motivating, very enabling daughter, Dr. Vidya Arbatikar. Dr. Vidya Arbatikar de facto manages the entire show, and she is the pro-chancellor of the Symbiosis International deemed university, and she also looks after all the schools and the colleges which are a part of the university, and she is also the principal director of the Symbiosis. And those of you who know about the Symbiosis, good. I had the privilege of working in a consulting assignment for a very brief time, 2-3 months of Symbiosis International University long back, about 10 years before. And I had an opportunity to interact with the people of the same Symbiosis. I used to stay in the Symbiosis International University on the top of the hill in the guest house. It's a pleasant place. You know, it's something like a paradise university on the space. If you go to the top of the hill and refresh in the Symbiosis International University, that get a refreshing to number one. Number two, that if you talk to any of the rankers or any of the persons in the corporate to talk about, people talk about SIBM, people talk about ACM HRD, people talk about Symbiosis Operation Management, and so on and so forth. It has created a name of itself. The name of itself actually, not only in the area of one area of activity, but it's a multifaceted area of activity, whether it's in the area of the management, whether it's in the area of the arts and commerce, whether in the area of the humanities, whether in the area of the school education, whether in the area of the liberal education, whether in the area of the engineering, and now in the area of the medical education also. So that's a real multifaceted international university, Symbiosis International University. So we are grateful to have Professor Vidya Arvatekar with us. The first award in this category goes to Dr. Vidya Arvatekar as an outstanding academic entrepreneur. The floor is open to Dr. Vidya Arvatekar to say a few words.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Sen Gupta, sir, Dr. Chitnis, and others in the Higher Education Forum. Thank you for considering my name. In fact, Dr. Muzumdar should have received this award because he's a true educational entrepreneur in our country. But nevertheless, because of him being his daughter, I got the platform. And I must say that all my colleagues put in a lot of hard work to bring Symbiosis to what it is today. Dr. Sengupta, sir, we've had wonderful interactions when you were here at our campus, and the kind of advice that you gave each one of us, you know, we've tried to, implement many of the advices that you gave and your colleagues at that point in time. Nevertheless, about Symbiosis, yes, it's a story which began in 1971. It's the Golden Jubilee of Symbiosis that we are celebrating. And along with excellence, we have also expanded in many cities in our country. And I must say that, the success of Symbiosis, I owe it to all the teachers, all the wonderful directors who put in so much of hard work, and of course, our students who do so well. And I just heard an award being given to ethical administration and ethical leadership. I think that's what Symbiosis practices. And therefore, I'm happy that such an award has been instituted and been given to Dr. Arya. But I must also put on record that this is one organization also along with Dr. Arya's that practices ethical leadership and also practices ethics as one of the very, very strong character building values, that we impart to our students. And when our students go out into the corporate world and create an identity for themselves, I think that is what success means to each one of us at Symbiosis. So thank you very much, Dr. Sengupta. We'll continue our work. I must say that we are not really educational entrepreneurs, but we are intrapreneurs because Dr. Muzumdar has created this, and for each one of us, and along with me, Dr. Ravi Jain has also, my colleague, has received this award. I can see Dr. Asmita Chitnis also on the screen. So for each one of us who works for Symbiosis, it is like working for our own family, and we build this very strong Symbiosis family and the strong bonds amongst each one of us that this takes us a long way. So thank you once again, and I owe it to Higher Education Forum, and we'll continue to collaborate with you for all the work that we are doing at Symbiosis.
Thank you very much, madam. And the last award of the morning or afternoon, whatever you call it, last award of the afternoon, is again in the memory of a very, very, very special person whom I personally respect very much, and that is Dr. P.N. Singh. Those of you who do not know about Dr. P.N. Singh, a few words. Dr. P.N. Singh was a very, very senior corporate person, very, very senior corporate person. Retired from the, I think, Builder at a very, very senior level. He is an MBA from the Asian Institute of Management, Manila. But more than that, and if you look at the academic qualification, if you look at the corporate experience, that's one part of the story. But those who have interacted with the Professor P.N. Singh, they know what Dr. P.N. Singh is. He was a person by himself. He was a storehouse of knowledge. He was a storehouse of wisdom. He was a storehouse of information. And most importantly, he was very curt. He will say something that, Sengupta, you are getting late. It is time that you close this up. You will close the talk. He was a very, very particular, very, very curt person. He was an absolutely beauty of a person to deal with. And it was a shock to us when we suddenly came to know about 8 years before that Dr. P.N. Singh has expired as a part of life, actually. We know he's both the doctors, Dr. Rita Shantaram and Dr. Sunita Chugh. So we talked to them, and the least thing what we could do is to carry forward, with a tearful eyes. Let me put it that way. Whenever I talk about Dr. P.N. Singh in the open forum, tears come through my eyes actually. With the tearful eyes, we thought that we will institute an award which is supported by both the daughters in the memory of Dr. P.N. Singh. And this is the 7th Dr. P.N. Singh Memorial Award for outstanding academic leadership. Outstanding academic leadership, 7th Dr. P.N. Singh Memorial Award. And this award this year goes to a close colleague of ours, a very renowned person in the field of the academic world, and the Dr. Professor Bhim Roy Chaudhury. Dr. Bhim Roy Chaudhury is currently the director of the IIM Nagpur. Previous to that, he was the director of the IIM Trichy. I mean to say, he was also several positions. He was the dean of MDI. He was the dean of Management Development Institution. He was the dean of IMI. He was the dean of L&T Institute of Project Management, etc., etc. He's a professor of operations management, and he's a known person in the area of the today. If you ask anybody in the management field or in the academic field, Professor Bhim Roy Chaudhury is one of the outstanding persons I have met. He's really a fabulous and outstanding person. So after a lot of such, we boiled down to Professor Bhim Roy Chaudhury, but he's one of the most prestigious award of the Higher Education Forum, and that's why we have kept it last. Both his daughters, Dr. Rita Shantaram and Dr. Sunita Chok, I'm sure they're here. I'm sure you're here because I saw their messages also. Professor Bhim Roy Chaudhury, the floor is open to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor A.K. Sengupta-ji. And first of all, respected Professor A.K. Sengupta, he is mentor to all of us and great guru and great inspiring leader. I thank first of all to Higher Education Forum and entire jury considering my name for this prestigious Dr. Again another great guru, Dr. P.N. Singh Memorial Award. And I also thank Professor Sengupta and even Anita and Sunita. Sunita was doing PhD at MDI Gurgaon when I was there as a PGP chair and dean. I know Sunita well, and I thank the entire family for instituting this award on the name of great guru who served in the corporate world as a great leader, and also academic field he made a big mark. And Dr. P.N. Singh is a remarkable leader and gurus of guru for everybody. I think first of all I take this opportunity thank everybody for selecting me for this very prestigious award. I humbly accept this award, and it also now comes with a larger responsibility and accountability for me to live up to the expectation of Dr. P.N. Singh. Just now, Professor Sengupta said, the kind of commitment, the kind of vision, and the kind of leadership, and probably I have to work very hard to live up to this expectation further. And once again, I thank, and I being son of the farmer and first generation educator coming from a small village and studied a primary school, Jilla Parishad school at one of the smallest of the village, 2000 population from Sangli district of Jat border area, and from there I did engineering and moved, and whatever I am there today, it is all because of the well wishes of people like Professor Pritam Singh, Professor Sengupta, and all the great leaders. And I am there. I feel it is a very prestigious award, and I am receiving this award. And whatever the the work I have done, it is all because of the support of all my faculty colleagues, professors, deans, directors, vice chancellors who are working with various committees of Government of India and even internationally. A number of committees I represented, UNESCO, I am representing Government of India, Ministry of Education, BIS, I am representing ISO, and apart from AICT, UGC, NBA, all those things. But whatever till today I am doing, it is all because of the guidance and support of people like Professor Sen Gupta and all the directors and vice chancellors of the country's great educators and leaders. And my hearty congratulations to all the 18 great leaders who received the award from Higher Education Forum. And just at the end, I must say that it was whatever I received, it was possible the generous support of course, and guidance of all the senior faculty members, my students, corporate leaders, and all the stakeholders. Just at the end, what I want to say, today this award, Higher Education Forum is instituting on occasion of Teachers Day. Even though Teachers Day is over, but I wish all the faculty members, the awardees, and all the faculty members, those who are participating, I wish very, very happy Teachers Day. And the moment Teachers Day, we always remember great leader, our own Indian and whom, grown, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. So Radhakrishnan, the kind of contribution he has done and becoming, 10 years as a first vice president and then president, and afterwards we are never looking back that, such a great leader, he established a name and fame, and that is how Teachers Day we celebrate. However, after Radhakrishnan, what next if you ask? I think that legacy continuing and whatever the work he has done, and I always proud of Radhakrishnan because he never gone foreign soil to study. All his education is Indian, and he was nominated few times for Nobel Prize, but he never studied abroad. So that is how, and the kind of mind, the way he represented UNESCO, he was very, very heading the committees and very active, and he was vice chancellor of Andhra University and many positions he hold, and he did a great job. And I think today the greatest role model for all of us, whatever in those days Radhakrishnan did, and today where we are there, so there is a still huge gap. In education sector, a lot of work has to be done, and really teachers are the change masters. And if you go by the Nelson Mandela's quote, the education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And all professions come from the education, the teachers, and that is how for nation building, teachers plays a very, very significant role. I am sure, in coming days, in this digital world, the roles of teachers are also going to change because of digitalization, because of, robots are coming, smart robots are coming, and data is going to be a big aisle. So in such a kind of disruptive environment, the higher education roles are changing, and how to lead the higher education industry 4.0 is also going to be an important challenging. I am sure with the guidance and mentorship of Higher Education Forum and the great gurus like Professor Sen Gupta and many leaders, I am sure we can overcome the challenge and we can set the example. I think many people, I was looking, Professor Atish, I think he has done a remarkable job. If you look at the kind of positioning this Jag Som has done in Bangalore, I think it is a best example. And founding director of the Symbiosis Hyderabad, I think he has done a remarkable job. And many of you, even Professor Arya, Aravali in a small place, how we set up and made a role. I think, and Professor Vidya, I think she has Symbiosis is the name in the country when we talk about the education, and almost now Symbiosis and Pune earlier used to be the name, and today Symbiosis and India. So from Maharashtra, from Pune, it has gone to the rest of the country. You name all the important business cities, their Symbiosis as a business school. So it is a great, I think, contribution Symbiosis is doing for the nation, connecting the corporate world. Where there are corporates, there is a Symbiosis. That is a great I think so. All the leaders, I am sure they have done the great work, and because of this kind of inspiration, motivation, the award, the Higher Education Forum award, I am sure it will boost and it will also make us to move to the next orbit, because whatever 18 people, those who got the awards, so it comes with lot of responsibility, accountability, as Professor Ravi said. I think we have to not only live up to the expectation, we have to delight the Higher Education Forum and entire education fraternity to live up to the expectation of the award. So once again, I thank the Higher Education Forum and Professor Sen Gupta and entire the leaders of the higher education. I can see Professor Kondap is there. He's a great leader, founding Vice Chancellor of Nursing Monji. So all these people, because of their inspiration, motivation, so today we are here. And last one thing, teachers, as Professor Sen Gupta said, are the reservoirs of the knowledge. So I think the readers are the leaders. So now the time has come, we have to read more and we have to lead more and we have to set an example. The teaching profession is the one profession, it creates many professions and it builds the nation. So with this, once again, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And for considering me for this prestigious award. And once again, I thank Professor Sen Gupta and Higher Education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Maitri, for that wonderful, motivating talk, and that set the tone for the next year's Teachers Award. That the how these 18 people, they can multiply and they can not only they become better, but as Atish talked about, they become more enabler, they become more motivator, so they can create the better teachers, so that, as you rightly told, that we can go to the next orbit of education, because education, there is a causal relation between education and development. So the more educated we are, the more developed we'll be. Thank you very much. Now, maybe request everybody to kindly, particularly I'm talking about the awardees and the supporters and the sponsors, to please put on their video, because we will take a group photo for the purpose of the sending to the press. We request the awardees, the supporters, and the sponsors to kindly put on their videos, so that we can take, our technical team take a photo. Professor Lakshmi, photo is taken. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's done. So, but the team is not allowing me to start my video. It is something you can't start because the host has stopped it.
You can enable the.
But there is no option.
No, not you. I'm talking about the team. Team should enable. Team should enable. Who is speaking, madam? Is it okay now? Professor Lakshmi?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
All of them have put their cameras on. So.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Professor Lakshmi. A special thanks to you. Very, very special thanks to you, because you organized everything. I only spoke. So very special thanks to you. Special thanks to all the awardees. Special thanks to all the supporters and sponsors, everybody over here. Special thanks to all the members who participate, the family members of the family members of the the supporters, sponsors, the people in whose memories we have given. To say it's a great event. It is a great event. Let us keep in touch. We wanted to close it at 12:30. It is now 12:29. So 1 minute before we are closing this particular event. Thank you very much, and look forward to meeting all of you in the 12th Higher Education Forum Teachers event in 2022. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all of you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Sen Gupta.
Congratulations, sir.
And also thanks to Professor Yogita and the students of ITM who supported us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sen Gupta. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, ITM. Thank you.
Thank you, Sen Gupta sir. Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lakshmi.
Thank you, Dr. Sen Gupta. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you, Dr.
Ravi,
Sen.
thanks a lot.
Thank
Ravi,
you.
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Atish. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
so much. Thank you, HEF.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.